People, welcome back to my channel. So hope you're enjoying the Python skill series so far. So in today's video we'll discuss about a very important concept in Python, which is also used for the data science interviews. So many times in data science interviews or in Python interviews, uh, these questions or topics on questions on these topics are expected. So it is called as generators. So some time ago we have seen the concept of iterators. So generators and iterators are somewhat related, so we'll understand what is the relationship between these two things. So if you haven't watched the video of iterator, I suggest you that you watch that video first, because we'll be using some of the code blocks from iterators or concept from iterators to make the functionality of generators. So before beginning, I'll just highlight the name of the topic, that is generators. So as from the name itself, it will generate something. Now generation, you can do generation of anything, like you can generate sequence of odd numbers, even numbers, or prime numbers, or anything like that. So usually in the older context, whenever we used to generate numbers or some particular series, what we used to do is we made the use of while loop or for loop in order to do it. But in Python, there is a concept of generators by which you can easily do this activity with minimal coding, not involving many loops or nested structures like that. So that's why this is one of the most favorite questions in data science interviews. So stay tuned to understand what is generators, and let's begin. So the code is simple, not big code, but we need to understand in what scenario we'll be using this. So that lies the application of generators in Python. Okay, so what we need to do is, say we have a student registration system, or a particular student wants to register for examination. So the student will basically give his credentials, so that is marked by this thing. So he'll give his username and password, and that will fire the request to the examination page where at the university is. So at the backend, what happens is a function call will go into the university database, which is secured. So he will ask for this password and username. So inside this we have kept a generator, and which is written in Python, and it will generate a sequence of some numbers, and these numbers that we can generate are 20. So these are basically random numbers. So these numbers are called as tan numbers, that is the which is used for registration of one particular examination. So say he has opted for 5 subjects. So for 5 subjects, if he want to register, so uh, he can use tan numbers, or there are some tan numbers by which he can register for one subject. So for one subject he can use one tan number. So for 5 subjects he has to use 5 tan numbers, and the range of generation of tan numbers is like, you can go for generation of 20 tan numbers, then 50 tan numbers, and 100 tan numbers. So these are the range. So if we generate a list of tan numbers, so first 20 numbers will be random numbers which are returned in a list, then 50 numbers and 100 numbers. So now how many of this, whether he want to generate a list of 20 numbers, 50 numbers, or 100 numbers, is upon the student's discretion. So he'll decide how many random numbers he want to generate. So it's not only this scenario, but later if he wishes to deregister for that particular subject, he want to make use of this tan again in order to deregister from that particular subject. So that's why for a buffer we are creating 20, 50 and 100 random number. So this is our scenario that is simple. So let's see how we can do this thing with the help of generators in Python. So what I do is there is a library in Python which is called as random, and from this random I'm importing a method that is randint. So as from the name, it will generate some random set of integers given a starting point and an ending point. So in that particular range, it will generate any random number. Now the validity of that random number will be dependent on which student is registered, and it depends upon database. So we are not concerned about that, but we'll just understand how the generator fits into this scenario. So the name of my function is tan. So this itself is a generator. So this is not a normal function. This will behave as a generator. So it is responsible for generating something. So however you may find the syntax of this as for method, this is not a method, but it will generate something. Now I'll come to this point of why it will be distinguished as a generator and not a method. Now inside this method, what first I'll create is a variable. So that variable I keep it as I and I initialize this to 1. Uh, then I put a while loop. So first I'll ask for the student, or the student will put like I want to generate 20 10 numbers. So n will take value 20, or if we wish to create 50 numbers, so n will take 50, or 100, then n will take 100. And I is basically for each particular number in that. So say for example, if he has opted for n is equal to 50, so I want 50 10 numbers. So it will generate 1 2 3 4 5 up till 49 and 50. So for accessing each of these 50 numbers, I have a counter. So I should access each of these numbers with the help of some counters. So for that counter, I basically have this I. So inside this, what I have is I have a while loop. So this while loop will run until the number of numbers I want to generate, the times I want to generate this number. So until it reaches 50, this loop will work. And inside this, what I have is a uh, statement. So that is yield, and after this I have called the randint function, and inside that I'm passing a number that is in the range of 10,000 to uh, this particular number 9996 times. So it will basically generate that number, and then I have to increment this value of I so that it will generate the next number, next number, next number, and so on. And then obviously I have to decrement the value of n. So first it will be 50. So for 50 first number will be generated, then 49, 48, 47, 46, and up till this condition gets terminated. Now as you can see, one thing we have encountered, that is yield method, or not method, it's a keyword basically in Python. Now in normal function, when we define a function and whenever we want to give out a value of that, we basically write the return method. So there is a small difference between return and yield method. So whenever in a function, if you see a yield method, means that particular function is not a function but it's a generator. So yield method, or whatever you write after yield method, you'll basically get that particular number or that particular value is returned. Now what is the difference between return and yield method? Normally we used to write return method, so whenever that function gets executed, it will return that value and the control of that program gets terminated. That was a story for return. But in yield, whenever function call happens to that particular method, it will get executed, but this particular line, what I've highlighted here, that gets executed or that gets returned, but the termination will not happen, or the control will go back to this particular while loop. So that is the main difference of using the yield and return. So just keep in mind, whenever you are designing a generator, you have to use the yield keyword for returning a number or returning your output. This is my output of the generator, and return function is normally used with functions for returning any value. It is as simple as that. And then what I need to do is, so I'll basically take the input from the user, that from the student he'll give how many tan numbers or random numbers I want to generate. So inside this tan I'll pass this. So as you see, it takes some n, that is value. So that value is this input, that is user input. We can hard code this, but we are not hard coding, so we'll make more interactive, so for that purpose. And that is a iterator object. That is a normal object you can consider. So whenever we create a function of a class or something like that, we want to create an object. So that is object of this tan method. And then I have a list. So in that list I'll be preserving all the generated tans by this particular yield method. Now comes the iterator part. So it will generate all the numbers up till 50. So until here it will generate the numbers, but as soon as it will go to next position, so like the iterator head does not have the intelligence to look what is the end of the string or length. So that's why it will throw an exception. So in order to handle that, I put a while statement, while block, and inside that I'll write true. So until this condition gets true, this will be executed, and inside that I'll write a try block, and inside this tan list and appending the iterator object. So by using the next method we append or we generate the next object, that is the iterator object, and that I'm putting into the tan list. And as soon as it reaches the 51st position or whatever number is there, so n plus 1, so if n is 50 and if n plus 1 is 51, so obviously it will throw an exception saying that it will be stop iteration, and then we'll break and finally we'll print the tan list. It is as simple as that. So in order to make the generator work, you need to have a iterator function. So the concept of iterator is very much related to generator. So this is the program all about. If I just run this and say I want to generate 20 tan numbers, so it will generate all 20 random numbers which are just in a random fashion. So if I just run again and if I type I want 50 numbers, everything is different. If I run this again and if I say I want 100 numbers, those are different. If I just run this again and if I say I want 20 numbers again, so this thing and this thing are completely different. So there is no match that you will get out of this. So every time it will generate a set of new random numbers as instructed by the user. So this is all about the concept of generators in Python. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found you got edgy of this video, please do like, share, comment. And if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching this video.